High in the Himalayas, surrounded by barren mountains and icy rivers, sits a tiny Nepali border village called Hilsa. At first glance, it looks insignificant, just a remote crossing point in Humla district near the Tibetan border. But today, Hilsa represents something much bigger. It is a symbol of how China's growing power is quietly reshaping Nepal's northern frontier, changing the lives of the people who have lived there for centuries. For most of history, the Himalayas were not hard borders. The people living in Nepal's northern mountains traded, traveled, and intermarried with Tibetans across the mountains freely. Ethnic Tibetan communities on both sides shared language, religion, culture, and family ties. Hilsa was one of the gateways connecting these worlds. Pilgrims crossed through it on their way to Mount Kailash. Traders carried salt, wool, grain, and livestock across ancient mountain routes. The border existed on maps, but in reality, life flowed naturally across it. That changed after China took control of Tibet in the 1950s. Suddenly, Nepal was no longer bordering a distant Tibetan civilization. It was bordering the Chinese state itself. Over time, especially after the 1959 Tibetan uprising and the escape of the Dalai Lama into India, China became increasingly obsessed with controlling Tibet and suppressing anything connected to Tibetan nationalism. And now, those policies are being felt far beyond Tibet itself. Reports from Nepal's Himalayan border regions suggest that China has been extending its anti-Dalai Lama campaigns into border communities connected to Tibet. Ethnic Tibetans traveling across the border have reportedly faced questioning, surveillance, and political screening. Some are allegedly forced to denounce the Dalai Lama or attend political education sessions before being allowed entry into Tibet. This is where Hilsa becomes symbolic. Hilsa is no longer just a sleepy border crossing. It has become a visible frontline between two completely different systems. On the Chinese side, there are paved highways, security checkpoints, cameras, and state infrastructure stretching deep into Tibet. On the Nepali side, there are rough roads, limited electricity, and isolated mountain villages still dependent on traditional ways of life. The contrast is striking. China's presence along the border has expanded rapidly over the last decade. Surveillance has increased. Movement has become more tightly controlled. Border crossings that once felt informal now feel militarized. For communities that historically lived as one cultural region, the mountains are becoming walls.